Hi everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Justin Woodbury, and the reason I started this channel is because I'm writing a book and I want to let everyone know that. And even though the book's not going to be ready for some time till later on this year, probably towards the end of the year, I wanted to start talking about it. There's some different things related to this book that have been talked about in the news media lately, and some other circumstances of different people I know that I wanted to start at least talking about this book and getting some feedback from different people watching this video. So let's talk about what the book is about. Right before I do, just I want to encourage you subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'm going to be sharing this on Facebook, but I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love it if you would share this on Facebook or if you would like it, and also feedback. I want feedback. The direction of this YouTube channel is going to be based largely on the feedback I receive and the different questions I receive. And if you have a similar story to what my book is about, would love to hear that as well. So let's talk about what the book is about. I grew up in the country in the Midwest on a small farm, and I was in church from as early as I can remember. I grew up in a church, and I can't really remember a time that I wasn't. So we went to church Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Saturday morning, and sometimes even Saturday night. And even though I believe that the people, the spiritual leaders at the church were sincere to begin with, over time, the church, that, in my opinion, became more cultish than a church. And again, the people starting the church were sincere, but we were told, as long as you follow this set of rules, as long as you really pretty much do what we say, you'll be protected. And they wanted to protect us from these bad things that were going to happen to us if we went out into the world. So we were very sheltered. I remember we were one of the only families in the church that had a TV, and we rarely watched it. We never listened to the radio unless it was classical music. The only other music we could listen to were the great hymns that were written a couple of centuries ago. And so that was really our only exposure to music. And so we were very limited with the media that we were exposed to. We as a church did not associate with any other churches. We were an independent church. So even other churches that of like faith that were in the area, we didn't have anything to do with. And there were strict dress standards that applied mostly to women, but very strict dress standards. In fact, when I left the church when I was 29 years old, as the music director, I was about to have to enforce a dress standard for my choir that included the length of women's hair, whether it could be curly or straight, what size of a purse they could carry, what color nail polish they could wear, the kind of makeup they could wear. So it was very, very strict. And again, we are told, as long as you follow these different things, and as long as you obey those in authority, you'll be protected. And they were trying to protect us from these different bad things that were in the world. And what wound up happening, instead of us being protected, we were exposed to all sorts of different things that happened right within the body of the church. And so any kind of form of abuse that you can think of, sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, psychological, all forms of abuse happened. And it happened by those that were we trusted, because they were in places of authority in our lives. And those kinds of things happened, and a bunch of other things that the book is going to talk about. I don't want to give the book away and talk about all that's in it. But again, everything we were supposed to be protected from happened right within the church. Even though we were sheltered, we were not protected. So that's the name of the book, Sheltered But Not Protected. And it's about my life and the lives of others that grew up in the church, and we were greatly influenced and affected by these different things that happened. My own personal situation, when I was a junior in high school, something happened that changed the course of my life, really. And there were events that were set in motion, circumstances that were set in motion that affected my lifestyle and affected my life for 20 years. And 20 years is 20 years too late, right? There should have been help right then and there, but these different things happen, and I didn't get help for 20 years. And so there's a saying Edward Burke said, for The only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing, and I'm doing something. I'm writing a book about it. I'm exposing these different things that happened, and that's what the book is about. So again, not wanting to give it away, but I do want to hear feedback. There might be somebody out there that has experienced some kind of abuse within a religious organization. It doesn't matter if it's a Christian church or another kind of a church. It doesn't matter. It happens. I believe it happens all over the country. In fact, I know it does, because when I got married and started talking to my wife about these things, she started sharing similar experiences, and she said, you should write a book about this, which is the reason I'm writing it. But what really prompted me and encouraged me to really write this book is I started traveling all over the country for my job, and I sat in houses of people who I had never met before, and they went to other churches, different denominations. I mean, there's so many different denominations out there, but it didn't matter, is what I'm saying, is because these different people that I talked to, they either had similar bad religious experience, or they knew somebody who had these bad religious experiences. And I thought, man, this is prevalent. It's just not just, I know the Catholic Church has been in the news a lot lately about these different things of abuse, and the Southern Baptist Church has been under fire lately for a lot of different abuse that they're responsible for. And I just know it's not in just those churches. It's in churches all over. So if you have a story, I'd love to hear about it. You can contact me by through my email, which I'm going to display on the screen. It's justin@shelterednotprotected.com. And I also have a phone number that I set up where you can call and leave a voicemail. It's 720-295-5313. So you can contact me that way. I'll be starting a blog in a couple of weeks, and I can be contacted through there. But leave me your feedback, and subscribe to this channel if you would, and share this video on Facebook. I want this to go all over, because I do believe it's prevalent. I do have a story, and I believe that people need to hear it, and people could be helped by it. So in the next video in the next week or so, I'm going to talk about why I'm writing the book. And then I'm going to address the different feedback that I get. And we're going to break this down into videos, maybe once a week, every other week. It all depends. But thank you for listening, and I will talk to you the next time I do a video.